DirectFix.com presents
The Apple iPad Battery Replacement Directions.
Warning, this content is intended to be used for informational and entertainment purposes only. You're using these video directions and its content at your own risk. AX Microsolution Inc. makes no representation, warranties, or condition of any kind, express or implied. Following these directions on this video will void your warranty. You're performing this repair at your own risk. Be sure to visit us on the web at DirectFix.com for all your parts and accessory needs. At checkout, use coupon code YouTube for 5% off your first order.
Using a case opener tool available from DirectFix.com, slide the case opener tool between the screen of the iPad and the aluminum metal frame. Using a case opener tool and a flathead screwdriver, pry up the screen on each side. This will release the tabs that hold the screen in place. If some of the tabs break, you will need to replace them. As you open the case, you will need to release one of the ribbon cables that is connected to the board. Using a case opener tool, you must flip up both locks that hold the ribbon in place before you're able to slide the ribbon out. This connector you'll just be able to pull up and off the motherboard. It's like a plug and it'll pop right off. While lifting the screen up from the back case, there is still another connector that is attached that will need to be removed. This final connector has a small hinge that you must pull up, and then it stays with the ribbon when you pull it out. Remove the 3 T4 screws that are holding the plate that runs between the batteries and is screwed to the motherboard. There are 2 more screws that are at the bottom of the unit that attach the charge port to the case. You'll need to remove those also. Take the center bracket between the 2 batteries and flip it over. There are still cables attached. Be careful. On the other side of the bracket, we'll reveal 2 cables attached to it. There is a clear cover that needs to be removed before you can remove the 2 cables. You can now carefully disconnect the 2 cables that are antenna cables. Be careful not to break them. They're just plugged in. Disconnect the cable at the top of the motherboard. There are 2 more cables that need to be disconnected. Using a T4 screwdriver, remove the 2 screws that hold the motherboard in. You can now remove the motherboard. There are 2 T4 screws holding the speaker assembly in place. Unscrew those . There might be some tape holding down the ribbon cables They'll need to be lifted up before you can remove the speaker assembly. With the tape removed, you'll now be able to remove the speaker assembly by lifting it up. The batteries are the two large black bricks in the center unit. They are covered in a thin tape. They'll need to be removed before you can remove the batteries. With the thin black tape removed, you will now be able to remove the battery assembly.
Be sure to visit us on the web at directfix.com for all your parts and accessory needs. At checkout, use coupon code YouTube for 5% off your first order.